Hey there. Welcome to Easing Anxiety. This is our, 8th, 10th vlog. I'm not sure. Kind of lose track after a while, but how's everybody doing? Hopefully this is finding you well. Just thought I'd pipe in today and say hi. Got a couple things I might chat about, share a couple of your comments, and see what we have. Stay tuned. Hello there. My name is Dee, and this is Easing Anxiety. If you like what we do, please subscribe and click on the notifications button so you can be alerted when new videos are available. Thanks for joining us. So how are you doing today? I'm doing okay. Got struggles. Things I'll share with you at a later time, but just struggles. But right now I'm doing all right. It's good to talk with you. It's good to be on here, and I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope this finds you dealing with the world around you better than I do sometimes. But I still do okay, and I get through it, and I think we all do. So anyway, I wanted to thank our Patreons, not Patreons. That's the company that does Patreon. Our patrons. That's it. This is a vlog. As I mentioned before, which means it's more raw. I don't edit things out. I just chat with y'all a little bit, kind of like those live chats we did, which we'll talk about in a second. But I just wanted to say, remember where I was going. Oh, our patrons. I wanted to say thank you to all our donors, especially our patrons are the ones that have donated, I think, $100 or more. But thank you to everybody. That really keeps us going. If you're interested in donating to what we do here, please go to our website, easinganxiety.com/donate. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Speaking of the website, I want to mention really quickly, I've been having problems with our subscription form. Some of you have noticed that. Some have piped in, and I say piped in. Hope you know what I mean. That just means that you communicated with me. I don't know if it's a regular term everybody knows, but a few of you have piped in and let me know that there's been some problems. It's funny because I'd watch our subscriber base, climb steadily for a long time on our mailing list. And then it kind of stopped, and then it started going down, which I thought was interesting. It's not that some people don't unsubscribe from a mailing list. I totally get that. It's everybody's right. But that new subscribers weren't offsetting that, which usually happens. So I went in and looked at it, and there were problems with the mailing list. I still have not figured out with the subscription form. I still haven't figured out exactly what the problem was, but I did a workaround. So please check that out. If you tried to subscribe before and you didn't get a confirmation email in your mailbox, that means you're probably not subscribed. That's part of the problems. I truly apologize for this. I didn't know it was going on. I still haven't figured out with MailChimp what the problem's been, but if you go to this form, it seems to bypass that issue. Got a couple comments I was going to mention here. Paul wrote in, this is about our live chat that we did on Thursday. Thank you to all those who participated in it. That was great. We didn't have a lot of attendance at the event, but got a lot of good feedback afterwards, and I think it was mostly my fault because I didn't advertise it very well. And I'm going to do that better in the coming days, and that's what I'm hoping with the new website and everything to get better at that, and we'll talk about that in a second. Paul wrote in and said, Dee, thought the online chat was great. Almost hated to see it end. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that. Did a great job of taking care of everyone that was chatting. Think it turned out to be such a help for me and everyone who participated. Ready for the next one. I really appreciate that feedback. And yes, there will be more live events. I'm thinking about doing a Saturday morning one, maybe once or twice a month, just a live chat with Dee on Saturday mornings, something like that. Let me know what you think. And what times work for you. I know the evening one didn't work for those people who are over in Europe. And so I try to alternate a little bit so that the time works for different people. But I'm also going to advertise them. That's another reason to subscribe. Oh, I start talking quicker and I get more tongue-tied, and that happened. Backing up again. Let's try that again. And then, God, whenever I do that, then my brain, it's like I have a millisecond. I don't know if you guys have this. I have this millisecond and a half time to back up and start again. Otherwise, it's gone. So I know I was talking about something. Oh, it was about the live event and communicating with each of you. Sorry about that. I knew this. But I hope to have those, and that's another reason to subscribe to our mailing list, because that's probably our primary outreach to let you know what's coming up, what's happening, what's going on. Not only will I cover the previous week events in our weekly newsletter, but I also hope to mention the upcoming events. So it's a good place to get that information. Thanks, Paul. Julie also wrote, and Julie's been writing a lot and commenting a lot on YouTube, which I love. Thank you for that, Julie. And Paul's been doing the same thing. Thanks to both of you. Julie wrote, "Hi, Dee. Thank you so much for your recent emails. Your advice has been very helpful. Not too clued up on technology, and I'm not sure how to find your podcasts or other articles you have written. I only see what has appeared on YouTube. So if you could point me in the right direction, I would be very grateful. Thank you." Julie, it's like I wrote that question for you. I didn't. I swear this was Julie's question, but I agree. It is confusing, and I'm confused too when I go to other people's channels and stuff and what their resources are. So let me quickly run down where to go for information, what the simplest thing to do is. We have 6 channels right now, 6 ways of outreaching. I know it's confusing. Bear with me, and I'll clarify a little bit. Our first is our Easing Anxiety YouTube channel, which Julie is talking about. Most of you are watching me through that channel right now. You should be able to go on there, click on our list of videos. If you click on our channel and list our list of videos, you can see all the videos we've done. I've also done playlists, so I've categorized them into 3 or 4 different groups of videos. So you can also do a playlist and search that and find the specific videos you're looking for. Our second channel is our podcast carriers. We have Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and others. Plenty of others had picked it up too, who carry our podcast. If you go to those, search for Benzo Free Podcast, you should be able to find it. They've been carrying it for a while, so that's another place. If you subscribe to those or get notified through those, you can find them. Of course, you can also find our podcasts still on the benzofree.org site, which I'll talk about in a second. The third is our Instagram page. We just set up an Instagram page. You can find us at Easing Anxiety on Instagram. Fourth is our newsletter. Just mentioned that. Subscribe to our newsletter, to our mailing list, and you'll get those. Fifth is the benzofree.org website. That is still active. I mentioned this a few times, but I feel like I need to clarify it now and then. It's continually going to be running and up and active until I get all that content and all the podcasts transitioned over to Easing Anxiety. So if you're looking for specific information on benzos and all the complete list of all the podcast episodes, that's the place to go. I'm hopefully muted that out so it's not too loud, or I'll bring down the volume or something. Sorry about that. And 6, of course, is the new website and hub, easinganxiety.com. This will be the center for everything. All the benzo info, all our general anxiety info, all our articles are already on there. All our videos are already on there. Resources are already on there. Stories are being added. All the podcasts are being transitioned over. Everything's going to be there. As you see here, you can easily scroll down and see some of our content highlighted on the home page. But you can also go right to the top menu. If you click on articles, videos, stories, or resources, it'll take you to our blog page. And our blog page is where it's a place to search for everything. And if you go on the blog page, you'll see on the right side, there's a category list. If you just do that click down box and look through the category list, you will then find all our content with even like numbers of how much is in each one, and you can go view the different content by category. Or right below that is a search box, and that search will search all our content, videos, articles, podcasts, whatever. And that's why I'm trying to get everything in one place so that you can quickly find information or a past podcast episode or a recent video on some certain subject. And that's what I'm trying to put together. So hopefully that's helpful to everyone. I won't spend too much more time on that, but I just wanted to let you know. I think that's it. Thanks for the comments. God, the comments are improving. I'm not improving quality, improving in number. I'm getting more and more of those in. I was going to share more, but I know I can ramble on a long time, and this is going to carry on a long time if I share more comments here. But in the vlog, I do like to share your comments. And they mean so much to me. And I'm really grateful you're sending those in. Thank you for that. I was thinking today, I get these, I have my iPhone out, and I have this little to-do list. And on that to-do list, I have like 270 ideas now that I've been tracking for the past year or something. And I get ideas, and sometimes they're ideas for this here, for a vlog, or for the podcast, or for my book, or future books, or whatever. And I just log them down, and they keep me going. So this morning, of course, I had another one. Thought I need to do a vlog. Haven't done one in a little while. I mean, I did the live chat, and that was kind of vlogish, I guess. But I wanted to do a regular vlog and just get out there and say hi. I try to do at least one of these a month. So we just kind of get the face-to-face time, COVID style. But I just wanted to chat with you. One of the things that I noticed a lot, and I thought I'd just touch on this. I got a couple notes, but most of this is just off the top of my head. But it's this quest for success that we, I think, seem to embrace in our lives. And it's, I don't know if it's innate. I don't know if it's taught. That whole nature versus nurture debate. I always hate that one because the answer is almost never one or the other. In my experience, it's almost always a little bit of both. So if you're wondering why we become the way we do, it's usually both environmental and it's genetics. I mean, it's usually a combination of the two. If you want to know why somebody's acting a certain way or somebody's doing a certain thing, it's usually from those two sources most of the time. That's what influences us and helps to create who we are. But, as when it comes to anxiety, I think one of the biggest drivers of anxiety is this quest for success. And I think it's good in many ways, but I also think it's bad in many ways, or unhealthy might be a more appropriate term. Our media, as you know, I have a love-hate relationship with general media, especially digital media, and the incredibly fast pace of our media today. But it really loves to promote this ideal of success. We can seek out fame, money, power, success of any type. And we've convinced ourselves, or other people have helped us be convinced, that that's the answer. That's the magic answer. This is what's going to solve all your problems. But it doesn't. And logically, I think most of us know that. I know that. And yet I still get caught up in this rat race of seeking money. I seek more money. I do it. I'm asking for donations on this channel. I say that so I can keep going, and it is, but I also want to keep food on my table. I want to be able to eat and, have shelter while I do this. But most studies have shown that once the basic necessities in life are met, of shelter, food, clothing, even freedom, sense of control over your life. Once those are met, there is absolutely no difference as far as the effect of money, power, success on happiness. Once your basic necessities are met, most of the studies show that those factors don't play in. And yet we want them so bad. And the thing is seeking that and striving for that creates levels of anxiety that are intense. It's almost like I think we know the answer, but we can't seem to stick with it. And I'm as guilty. I mean, I walk into the grocery store and see Powerball is up over 100 million, and I'm going to buy a ticket maybe. Why? If I know the statistics tell me that money, because I have food on my table, I have shelter, I'm pretty stable, relatively so. It was tight this year trying to get through things, but we're a little better now. My wife's got a new job, and things are a little better. But my needs are met. That's not a problem for me. But yet I think that this $100 million jackpot is going to make me happy. And I don't think that, but I fantasize about it. And it's kind of fun. And I think it'd be kind of cool. And I think that with fame too. It's like, I would love if this went viral and a lot of people started paying attention. And I say that I want that because I want to help more people. And that is true. That is not a lie. It's true. But if you asked me if my ego is tied up in that at all, I would be lying if I said it wasn't. Of course my ego's tied up in that. It's part of this. So there is part of me that thinks if what I do does better, I'm going to get more popular and people are going to think and count on me to help them with their anxiety, which again, I'm not professionally trained in this. I just can share what I've learned. But I get caught up in that. And I really try. That's why one of the things I mention a lot on this is being humble and kind. I love that saying from the country song, and it sticks in my head. Always be humble and kind, because I'm reminding myself not just to be kind, which I think is probably number one, but also to be humble and to not let that ego take over. So I think I'm battling that, but it's this drive for success. It's this drive for something we don't have yet. Fame, money, success, love, whatever. That drive is constantly driven by this feeling that we're not enough. I mean, why am I seeking for all those things out there if I'm enough to make me happy? I don't know. Maybe it's genetics and it's part of the human condition. Maybe it's the media telling us, and probably, like I said, it's a combination of both. But I do think it's important for us to remember what we're seeking, because we think that this final goal is it. If I got this house, if I got this job, if I had 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, if I reach these pinnacles, boom, I'm going to be happy. But we know in our minds that's not true. It's just that kind of gets, that rational brain gets kind of pushed aside, and we're left with the irrational side of saying, yeah, but it would be so much better. But having that money, or having that cool house, having that nice car. It's funny because reaching that pinnacle, there's a book I want to see. I go to my bookshelf and you'll follow me. Come with me. Come here. I feel like Mr. Rogers a little bit, Didn't he just do that or something like, here, come with me, or I don't know who it was, but somebody like, come with me. I don't know what I'm thinking of. But here it is. Happier. Okay. And I have not set this up, so I got to find this. I might have to edit this section out because you don't want to, wait with me while I'm trying to find the one I am. This book is called Happier. It's by Tal Ben-Shahar, PhD. He was a Harvard professor. Now I think he's back in Israel teaching there and writing. I had the luxury of the opportunity to speak with him. Back I was co-producing a film that I wrote on happiness and on some stuff. This was previous life anyway. And we went out to Harvard and we had an opportunity to interview him. Amazing guy, brilliant. But Tal's book, Happier, is one of my favorites. It's a good book and it really kind of breaks down things. But he tells a story at the beginning which really feeds this. And let me see if I can find it. La-di-dee, la-di-da. See, this is what I do when I don't prep an article to read through, but I just go looking for it. Here we go. I found it. Okay, yes. I don't know if you stayed with me that or if I cut out. But anyway, Tal Ben-Shahar, raised in Israel. And his dream was, he said, I'm just saying a quote here. It goes, I was 16 years old when I won the Israeli National Squash Championship. It was an event that brought the subject of happiness into sharp focus in my life. I had always believed that winning the title would make me happy, would alleviate the emptiness I felt so much of the time. Tao worked his whole life up until that point to become physically fit, to learn squash, to be an expert at it, and to win the national championship. And he knew that that was the epitome. That's what he was going for. That was gonna make him happy. Suddenly, without warning, the bliss that came from having attained in real life what had for so long been my most cherished and exalted fantasy disappeared, and my feeling of emptiness returned. I tried to convince myself that I was feeling the temporary low following an overwhelming high, but as the days and months unfolded, I did not feel happier. In fact, I was growing even more desolate. There no longer seemed to be a series of logical steps for me to follow. Anyway, I think his story really spoke to me. It's one that stayed with me for a long time, one of those ones that I've had in my head and I've shared with people along the way. Because I think we've all had that at some point. We've all had that moment where we sought something, achieved it, and it wasn't what we thought it would. We've seen that in, money. We've seen that in jobs. Get this job and now we want another job. We wanted what's next. We want more. Even seeking love sometimes. We get that person. But then a year or two, that infatuation eases. And now, is that real love, the long-lasting love, still there underneath? We seek out all these things because we think to find happiness, to be fulfilled, to have meaning, we have to achieve something. And I don't know if that's right. I don't believe it is. I think learning how to look at life, how to see things, is where our true happiness comes from. I'm not going to stop trying to achieve things. I'm not going to stop trying to grow this channel. I'm not going to stop seeking new relationships, new friends. I love that. I love meeting you all online, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in person as we can move on with this. And that does feed me, and these are the things that feed our soul. But thinking that I'm only going to be happy when is a self-defeating attitude. And it doesn't usually work out. We in ourselves have the power to be happy. Why is it that some poor people in this world are as happy, if not happier, as many of the wealthy ones? Makes you think. Why is it that people who are, doing a good job and have a good family and come home and spend time with their kids are often happier than the celebrities that we worship? Maybe we're chasing the wrong thing. Maybe chasing isn't the right thing. Maybe learning how to love what we have, to embrace what's around us, to see the good and the amazing things around us, and still, fantasize now and then about the lottery, about, being a celebrity, whatever it is you're chasing, about getting that top level job at the corporation, being the CEO. But maybe just back off a little bit and think, that's fun to fantasize about, but I know that's not what makes me happy. We have the power to make ourselves happy. We have the power to ease that anxiety, to lessen the stress of seeking something out there as an answer and finding it within ourselves. That's what I think we focus on here at Easing Anxiety, and that's what I hope to do more of. But find that joy in you where you can seek out the answers within you, because it is within you. I learned that with my benzodiazepine withdrawal. That is probably one of the biggest lessons I got. Spending time with those you love, spending time with your friends, your family, traveling, getting out and meeting people, expanding that anxiety bubble that we have around us so that you can experience a few more things, but also noticing the little things you already have around you. On the Instagram page, I started to post pictures of sunrises. I didn't do this intentionally. I started thinking I should have called it, instead of easing anxiety, I should have called that page Sunrises or Sunrises for Anxiety or something, because I would get up in the morning before my wife would wake up, and I'd go out and I'd start running and I'd start jogging. And I would always catch the sun. At first, it was happening because we had the forest fires, and the forest fires' sunrises were just gorgeous. The fires were devastating, but the sunrises were amazing. But even past that, I'm getting these incredible sunrises. And I'm not looking at the mountains. I'm looking out to the east. That's where the sun is in the morning. And it's amazing how it comes up. And those kick off my day on a good note. And that's why I share them. I share them, and then I often say something afterwards of saying, hey, today's another new day. Another new day for opportunities. Another new day to make a new start. Another new day to notice and be grateful for what you have. I'm not saying that success isn't a good thing. I'm not saying that money isn't helpful. I'm not saying that fame isn't kind of cool. But I don't believe that seeking those and thinking that those are gonna make us happy ever really works out. At least that's what I discovered. And I'm just passing on to you things that I figured out that make sense to me, that perhaps might make sense to you too. And if they do, great. If they don't, write this one off, go to a different one, or go listen to somebody else. Wherever you want to go, it's a free country, world, kind of. Do what you want to. But hopefully some of the things I learned helps you too. And you have been helping me learn things too. So thank you. I like these. I like vlogs because I just get to talk with you. I'm going to share more comments. We'll do them periodically. Let me know what you think. Your comments have been awesome. Subscribing is awesome. Please subscribe to our newsletter if you get a chance. Check out our website. If you want to help what we do here and donate, that's awesome too. I really appreciate it. But we're just getting going. And you all are along for the ride, and I really appreciate that. Thanks. I hope I'm helping you. And if I am, that means everything. That means everything. Be kind. Be humble. Be empathetic of others. But most of all, be at peace. I'll see you next time.